Anyway, we just had a busy Memorial Day travel weekend. And now we're officially entering the summer tourist season that is dependent on smooth travel between Western New York and Canada. It's one of the reasons Niagara Falls is so many people's favorite place to travel in the world. One of the greatest trips I took, I remember when my daughters were 8 and 4 to come up to Niagara Falls, and they went on Maid of the Mist, and they went in the raincoats under the falls, and we did so many great things up here. And now I have 3 grandchildren, 5, 2, and 1, and a few years when they're old enough, I'll be coming. Whoa! That was just the list of who was coming. Okay. Don't worry, Matt. It's just a list of who's here. Okay. So it's one of the reasons Niagara Falls is so many people's favorite place to travel throughout the U.S. and throughout the world. But right now, there's a legal loophole being used on the Rainbow Bridge, on the Peace Bridge, and the other border crossings by thousands of Canadians every month to skip the massive paperwork delays to renew their visas and work permits. And it's putting the Niagara Falls and Western New York economy at risk by increasing traffic and wait time here at the border, hampering smooth commerce between our nations, hampering tourism because obviously people go from the Canadian side to the American side when they visit the falls. It's a loophole that's causing our Rainbow Bridge, Peace Bridge, and other crossings to look like a merry-go-round, with thousands of Canadians using a practice known as flagpoling. We don't have a flagpole. Oh, yes, flagpoling, as you can see there with the American flag. Okay? They call it this because Canadians who require work visas or permits, who are already legally working in Canada, must simply go to a border crossing like this, travel around this flagpole, so to speak, before presenting themselves at the border to get their paperwork processed in days, rather than the months and months if they wait in their country. So a Canadian who needs a permit, instead of putting it in the mail in Canada and waiting 9 months to get it back, comes here, stays for a few hours, and gets the permit in a few days. So they like that. We don't blame them for liking that. But when they come here and then turn around right after an agent has processed the paperwork, it causes major, major problems at the Rainbow Bridge and the other bridges for travelers going to Niagara Falls. Because when someone from Canada shows up trying to do this, the applications take at least 30 minutes to process per person, and it takes an agent away from helping others who want to get in, visitors who want to get in. It means more traffic at the border, much more traffic, longer wait times, and less people who want to travel between the two nations, between the U.S. and Canada. It's also very frustrating to CBP, the Custom and Border Patrol, because they have no idea how many people are going to show up on a day to do this, and it takes personnel to process the papers here. Okay? So what it does is they have no ability, the Customs Border Protection have no ability to plan or prepare. The loophole spreads them thin, and it makes it harder to give a smooth commute to tourism and commerce that's the lifeblood of our region. And the traffic is often bad now. It's going to get worse over the summer with more tourism and everything else that happens. So we want to stop that from happening right here at the very beginning, right day after Memorial Day, of the summer traffic season. So today I am here to call on the Canadian government to close this loophole and start coordinating with CBP officers so they can do their jobs. Get wait times back down, ensure tourism continue to flow smoothly, and make sure that this loophole in the law, so to speak, is closed. Niagara Falls and Buffalo Crossing see some of the highest rates of flagpoling anywhere in the United States because we have one of the busiest border crossings for tourism in the entire country. With the summer on the horizon, the busy tourist season is going to get busier, and this practice continues to climb. the traffic at the bridge for Americans, for Western New Yorkers, will get worse and worse and worse. It hurts tourism, but it hurts commerce. This is one of the biggest commercial crossings in the country between Buffalo and Canada, between Western New York and Canada. We don't need it slowed down. We don't need people going elsewhere because they're slow. So just ask leaders of the bridge like Ken Beager. They fear that 2024 could be the highest number of flagpolers that we have yet seen. I don't want another paper to blow away. Okay, last year in 2023, just on the northern border alone, the whole northern border, there were about 20,000 flagpoling claims. The majority of those 20,000 were right here in Western New York. We have the latest numbers for January, which is not the busiest season for flagpoling. 700 occurred at the Rainbow Bridge, 570 at the Peace Bridge, 420 at Lewiston Bridge. Every single one of those people is an officer who can't do their usual job for a half an hour or more each time. Sometimes CBP will try to turn away these cases when they're spread too thin or too busy. But guess what people do? They come back and do it again. The Canadians come back and do it again rather than wait months and months and months. Long wait times discourage tourists, delay goods, and hurt our Western New York economy. So that's why it's got to stop. We know that Canada has been a major partner and friend to the U.S. It's a very good neighbor. We have a great relationship. We treasure that relationship. We thrive together. But right now, we're risking the economy and flow of people between our nations, and we can't let that happen. So, Western New York needs tourists to have a smooth commute and not get held up because of this merry-go-round called flagpoling. And it's called flagpoling only figuratively. It has nothing to do with a flagpole, but you go around the flagpole, so to speak, here in America, and you get the greatly reduced waiting times. We must close this loophole as it currently stands and get better coordination between the U.S. and Canada to ensure our tourists can see beautiful Niagara Falls, travel here into Western New York, and see the great attractions here more and more than ever before without waiting for hours in line, and ensure also that trade between the countries flows smoothly. So now let me call on Congressman Kennedy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Senator Chuck Schumer. Once again, welcome back. He is always here, either personally or his presence through his team. And, you know, one thing we know about Senator Schumer is he hires great staff. And they showed it here today. Matt, that was fast work. I do want to say this. I want to go on record. You were not nearly as fast as the senator. He's still faster than you. So
he's very kind.
But look at this. We're here for a very important initiative here today, and it's asking the Canadian government, our great allies to the north, to work with us to stop this flagpoling. I applaud Senator Schumer for his work on bringing attention to this important matter. We know that with the influx of tourism this upcoming season, as the summer season fast approaches, we know that we need to move goods, commerce, and people as quickly as possible. And with this flagpoling loophole, it creates frustration and stagnation at the border, and that has a negative impact on commerce and tourism, and we want to prevent that for Western New Yorkers and Canadians alike. So again, Senator Schumer, thank you for your efforts. To all of those on the commission here, Ken Beager, Kathleen Neville, Ron Reines, and April Jeffs, as well as the Border Patrol for their efforts in keeping us safe. We applaud you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now we have Ken Beager, who, as you know, is CEO of the Niagara Falls Bridge Commission. Ken, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Schumer and Congressman Kennedy, for being here at the Rainbow Bridge today and for all your efforts to support the smooth and efficient flow of travel and trade at the international borders. While addressing the flagpoling issue, which greatly impedes the mandate of both CBP and CBSA and causes delays at our borders. Let me also thank our American and Canadian commissioners who help guide and oversee the Niagara Falls.
Maybe if we don't screw things up, we'll just move the podium a little bit over. Is that all right? Yeah. Let's do it carefully. Okay.
A little more?
That's okay. We'll all stand on this side of you. We won't have balance.
My notes got with you. So again, everybody else set? Let me thank our American and Canadian commissioners who help guide and oversee the Niagara Falls Bridge Commission in delivering our mission for the traveling public every day. This includes our Vice Chair Kathleen Neville and Commissioner April Jeffs, who are present with us today. Flagpoling has been a long-standing issue at the land ports of entries, and it impacts both the U.S. and Canadian custom operations. We've seen an increase in flagpolers over the last several years due to IRCC's lengthy processing times for online and inland applications. CBSA's mission is to ensure the security and prosperity of Canada by managing the access of people and goods to and from Canada, while CBP's mission is to protect American people, safeguard our borders, and enhance the nation's economic prosperity. This flagpoling issue directly affects both CBP and CBSA's ability to fulfill their mandates, as well as the Bridge Commission's mandate to facilitate the movement of people and goods in a safe and sustainable and efficient manner. CBSA locally has made various scheduling adjustments to try and address these realities, but the agency is hampered by legislative restrictions limiting further procedural changes. And unfortunately, these adjustments have not allowed the trend of the growing immigration processing at the land border of entries. Those temporary residents of Canada seeking to flagpole many times show up stressed, confused, and unprepared, and not familiar with border processes. Individuals can be found lining up in the middle of the night and sitting on the concrete on our center of our pedestrian walkway just to be first in line, or baking in the hot sun for hours during a hot summer day so that they could get processed and not turned away at the border. These temporary residents of Canada are getting dropped off at ports and entries, typically by Uber or by taxi, and are unaware of our facilities, sometimes attempting to cross busy traffic and wander into secure areas, seeking direction and information. You can imagine the safety concerns and the stress that this places on our bridge operators and custom agencies' resources. And the downstream effect of this flagpoling activity is a hampering of efficient trade and tourism at our borders. The more custom officers needed for assignment to immigration processing and the flagpole process means a substantial reduction in officers on the primary inspection lanes, as less officers are available to process legitimate trade and travel. This results in longer wait times, delays, and frankly, a slower, thicker border. As Senator Schumer and Congressman Kennedy have previously stated, and Ron Rice, CEO of the Peace Bridge Authority, who has been working hard to bring awareness to this issue for years, has advocated, we must move this process away from the border and quickly as possible, with additional IRCC staffing and improved IRCC technology through its online application process. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we do have Ron Rhinus here. Raise your hand, Ron. Who's been active, and we've worked on many issues on the border over the years. Okay, we'll take questions on this subject.
Standing at a place where we had a terrorist scare last year that turned out not to be terrorist, can we talk about the public safety and homeland security concerns of this?
Yes, look, our border people, one of their jobs is to move commerce quickly between the countries, but another is to deal with terrorism. Another is to deal with bad people and drugs and other things that might come across the border, and they're diverted by this flagpoling. So this affects the safety of Western New York as well as commerce, economy, tourism. It's a good question.
We're seeing a pretty long line getting into the country behind you. Are you attributing these wait times like even today?
It's different in different days, but flagpoling is there every day, and as I mentioned, just the numbers, just look at those numbers in January for each of the 3 crossings, and each one takes one agent a half hour, because they got to sit down with the Canadian and fill out their form and all of that.
I think the gentleman was saying this is a legislative issue in Canada. Canada?
Yes, I think in your press packet, I believe, is the letter we sent to the Canadian immigration authorities to do this.
Well,
I'm not sure it's legislative. Is it legislative, or can Canada change it administratively? It's in the letter both ways, yeah.
Right, well, Senator, I guess what I'm just saying is, if you've been able to reach out, and I don't know who's directly the person you go to, maybe somebody in the Canadian Parliament who would be your counterpart, or Prime Minister Trudeau's office.
Yes.
If this is an action,
We're trying
have you
all
tried
of them.
To reach out?
We're trying the President, Trudeau, we're trying the Parliament, and we're trying the, I forgot what it's called, but the Secretary of Immigration Issues. It's in your letter. We're trying all three. Any other questions?
It's been a problem for many years, the last 6 or 7 years.
Microphone.
It's been a problem for many years. The last 6 or 7 years, it's gotten a lot worse with the additional immigrants coming in, particularly into Canada. The processing has gotten slower with IRCC, so there's a need for additional staffing.
Yeah. Okay?
Do you mean that since...
Go ahead,
people-
Ron, and then you. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify. Do you mean... No, sorry. Since people have come into Canada from, like, the Wrexham Road crossing, is that the people...
No.
When you say...
No, these are people who need work permits in Canada.
Right, but I think you said... Did I hear immigrants?
Go ahead.
Is that...
These are temporary residents that are looking for
These are legal people.
Yes, study
Not illegal.
study permits or work permits.
I think what he's saying, with everything else happening, the burden is greater. But these people who do flagpoling have to be legally here in Canada.
So you've done a lot of online ticket purchasing. I'm wondering what you make of the DOJ and the New York State Attorney General taking action against Live Nation. And if there's anything that can be done.
Well, I've been worried about this for a long time, and now it's an ongoing case, so I don't comment on it. But as you know, I've been pushing the issue of making online ticketing fairer, so people don't have to spend $2,000, to see Taylor Swift or something.
Are you in agreement that it's a monopoly, and is there anything...
Well, I want to see their court papers on this, but it's something I'm sympathetic to, absolutely. Yes.
And one more thing, what do you make of the loss of art funding for public schools across the country and cities who are having to lay off people in droves to kind of make up for these financial losses?
Which losses are you referring?
Like public schools are firing teachers because they're losing so much funding from the government. Is there any...
Okay, well, I'm not familiar with what specific issue you're talking about, but I can tell you in the last budget that we just passed, when the government, we had an increase in funding for public school education. Now, the state levels, you'd have to talk to them. I believe education is a very important thing for our kids. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice...
Can we ask one last question?
Yeah, sure. Ron, go ahead.
I appreciate it. I know we don't have anybody from Customs and Border Protection or Border Patrol with us here, but in the past, there's been quite a concern about TDY, that being sent to the southern border temporarily.
Yes.
Up here.
Okay.
Is that still happening, and are you getting any kinds of numbers from them?
Yes.
How many-
It's a very good question. We are short, let me just say this. We need more Border Patrol at the southern border and the northern border. So in the bill that we just had on the floor of the Senate last week, we increased the number of agents by 2,400 and designated a good percentage of that to have to go to the northern border. It was defeated in the budget bill, as you know. The other party didn't want it, but now we're trying to get it this summer in the budget, this upcoming budget for this coming year, and it would designate a significant larger number of people for the northern border. We definitely need them.
And Congressman Kennedy, I know your predecessor was part of a bipartisan northern border caucus. Do you anticipate joining that?
Yes, I'm joining the bipartisan Northern Border Caucus. Our community here in Western New York is right on the border of our greatest ally to the north, Canada. And we are dealing with issues each and every day. This flagpoling loophole is one of those issues. I'm proud to stand with Senator Schumer on this. And, these are issues that are going to continue to need to be addressed. Being a part of a Northern Border Caucus will be helpful in informing myself, my team, and our community on ways to move forward.
Will you be advocating for more personnel here?
100%.
Yes, it's in this bill. Thank you, everybody.